Single dad took a job nobody wanted, and it turned the best decision of his life. Sometimes, life pushes you into corners you never planned to visit. The kind of corners where pride feels like a luxury and survival becomes the only goal. This is one of those stories, about a man who took a job everyone else avoided, believing it was just another sacrifice, only to discover it would quietly change his life forever. It's a reminder that kindness doesn't always arrive as a grand gesture. Sometimes, it shows up disguised as hard work, patience, and a choice made with love when no one is watching. Before we begin, if stories like this move you, inspire you, or remind you of the good still left in the world, please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share your thoughts in the comments. You're watching Heartfelt Moments, a place where real stories meet real emotions. Now, let me tell you about Mark. Mark Wilson was 37 years old when his life split into a before and after. Before was busy, exhausting, but stable. After was quiet in a way that felt heavy. He was a single dad raising his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, after her mother passed away suddenly from illness. Overnight, Mark became everything: provider, comforter, homework helper, and bedtime storyteller. He loved Lily more than anything, but love didn't pay rent. Mark had worked in warehouse logistics for years, but when the company downsized, his position disappeared. Unemployment checks helped for a while, but bills don't pause for grief. Rent was overdue. Lily needed school supplies. The refrigerator looked emptier every week. Mark applied everywhere. Retail stores. Delivery jobs. Office work. Most never called back. A few interviews ended with polite smiles and "we'll let you know." Weeks passed, and hope thinned. Then one morning, he saw a handwritten sign taped to a bulletin board outside a city maintenance office. Night sanitation worker needed. Immediate start. Everyone Mark knew avoided sanitation work. The hours were brutal. The pay was low. The job was invisible and often mocked. Even Mark hesitated. But the words "immediate start" felt like a lifeline. He took the job that same day. Mark worked nights, cleaning streets, emptying dumpsters, and hauling trash through alleys most people pretended didn't exist. The work was physically demanding. Some nights, his back ached so badly he could barely straighten up. Cars passed without slowing, splashing puddles near his boots. People looked through him, as if he were part of the street itself. Still, every morning, Mark came home quietly before Lily woke up. He made her breakfast, packed her lunch, and walked her to school, pretending he wasn't exhausted. At night, before leaving for work, he kissed her forehead and reminded her he loved her. One evening, Lily asked, "Daddy, why do you smell like soap all the time?" Mark smiled and said, "Because I help clean the city so people can wake up to nice streets." She thought about it, then nodded proudly. That's important. Those words stayed with him. As weeks turned into months, Mark noticed something unexpected. People on his route started recognizing him. A bakery owner left a cup of coffee on the sidewalk every Thursday morning. An elderly man who walked his dog at dawn waved and said, "Thanks for what you do." One night, Mark found a small note taped to a trash bin. It read, "I see you. Thank you for keeping our neighborhood clean." He stood there longer than he meant to, holding that note. No one had thanked him at work in years. One winter night, temperatures dropped dangerously low. Mark noticed a homeless woman sleeping behind a grocery store, wrapped in thin blankets. City policy didn't require him to intervene, but something tugged at him. He bought her a hot meal from his own pocket and left it beside her, gently waking her to make sure she was okay. She looked up with tired eyes and whispered, "No one's talked to me kindly in weeks." Mark didn't know what to say, so he just said, "Stay warm." Small acts like that became part of his routine. He didn't tell anyone. He didn't expect anything back. It just felt right. Then one morning, everything changed. Mark was finishing his route when a black sedan pulled over. A man in a suit stepped out, looking completely out of place on that street. He introduced himself as Daniel Harper, a local business owner who had been watching Mark work for months from his office window. "I've noticed how you treat people," Daniel said. "Not just how hard you work, but how kind you are." Daniel explained he was starting a facilities management company and needed someone reliable, someone who understood the value of unseen work. He offered Mark a full-time daytime position, better pay, benefits, and flexible hours so he could be home with Lily at night. Mark was stunned. He didn't even know what to say. That job changed everything. Mark moved into a better apartment. Lily joined an after-school art program. They ate dinner together every night. Mark still worked hard, but now his body and heart had room to breathe. On Lily's school career day, she stood in front of her class and said, "My dad cleans cities and helps people. And he's the kindest person I know." Mark sat in the back, eyes burning, realizing something important. The job nobody wanted had given him more than a paycheck. It gave him perspective. It showed him that dignity isn't tied to a title, and kindness doesn't need an audience. He still stops to help when he can. He still remembers the nights no one noticed him. And he teaches Lily that every person matters, no matter what uniform they wear. Because sometimes, the hardest choices lead to the softest lessons. If this story reminds us of anything, it's this: kindness has a way of circling back. You may never know who's watching, or whose life you're quietly touching. So be kind anyway. The world needs it, more than we realize.